This is JoyNews Prime with me, Samuel Kojo Brace, live from our studio here in Accra. We're live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125, around the world on myjoyonline.com. Coming up, New Patriotic Party goes to polls in less than 13 hours to elect a flag bearer ahead of the election 2024. But the party is already fighting claims of vote buying and delegate campaign.
We have no such minister. However, we do appreciate that the game politics comes with propaganda.
More, including the suspension of the primaries in the Sunyani East constituency, whilst constituent in Asokwa and are contesting the credibility of the voters register.
We told them that if they have anything to do, they need to trash it out with their National Election Committee. And then National Election Committee will get to the head office of the Electoral Commission.
Details of all of these as we gear up for a 360 coverage of the NPP Delegates Conference on your election headquarters here on Joy News and Joy FM and all our social media platforms. Brought to you by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Always a delightful experience, and the new force, a new nation. Also, first day of voter exhibition exercise ahead of the local level elections kickstart on a slow pace as Joy News is monitoring reveals virtually empty centers. We are the home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Please stay for details.
JoyNews Prime headlines was brought to you by
Don't take risks. Use a condom every time.
And thanks to Malatu, I kicked out malaria one time.
Some spices. Yes, sir.
In less than 13 hours, the New Patriotic Party will go to the polls to elect a flag bearer ahead of the 2024 general elections. But information trickling in indicate that the primaries in the Sunyani East constituency has been put on hold. The Electoral Commission has confirmed that delegates in the constituency would therefore be disenfranchised as the NPP goes to the poll on Saturday, November 4, to elect a flag bearer to lead the party in the 2024 elections. According to party sources, a high court in Sunyani had set aside a constituency album following an injunction filed by some aggrieved members of the party in relation to the constituency primaries. Dr. Siribo Kwaku is Deputy Director of the EC in charge of Electoral Services, and he's joined us on the phone. Now, Doc, I'm grateful for joining us. First off, how is the preparations for tomorrow's exercise? Dr. Kwaku, I want to understand from you how the preparations are for Saturday's exercise.
Hello.
Hello, Doc. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear. I'm saying that I am a director, not a deputy director.
Okay, director. Yes. Thank you for the correction. Yeah.
Yeah. So now come with your question.
Yeah. So I wanted to find out from you how the preparations are for tomorrow's exercise.
Oh, thank you very much, and my regards to you and your colleagues, your listeners. By the grace of God, everything is fine. All materials that are needed are at the front now, and we are ready for tomorrow. We
understand that the Sunyani East constituency has been put on hold, and you have confirmed. Can you give us more information about this in terms of reasoning?
Well, what I would say is that the register is compiled by the party. And according to the party, Sunyani East is not included because there's a court case over there. I don't have the details of the court case.
Okay. So what it means is that for Saturday's exercise, Sunyani East is not part. Do we know of any other constituency that is also not going to vote tomorrow?
Of the 275 constituencies, there's only Sunyani East that is not voting.
All right. And the exercise is starting at what time tomorrow?
We are starting at 7 o'clock in the morning and close voting at 2 p.m.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here. Now, 4 candidates: Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, former Greek Minister Dr. Efri Akoto, Engineer Francis Adainimo, and Asin Central MP Kennedy Japan will be contesting and courting for the vote of over 204,000 delegates to lead the NPP into election 2024. It is a choice that would either break the party or either break the 8 or send the party to opposition. But first, who are these people? Elton Brobe of our political desk reports.
The ballot has 63-year-old Member of Parliament for Asin Central Kennedy Ohene Ajipom occupying the number 1 spot. The former Adisale and Fordham University graduate has in the last 22 years represented his constituents in Parliament. But now he wants to represent the entire nation as president.
Ghanaians see me as somebody different from real politicians who always think of the next election and therefore are not able to speak the truth. Ghanaians see me as somebody who is bold, who speaks the truth, who cares for the ordinary people.
Born some 60 years ago, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is second on the ballot, but is first in the NPP presidential race. Having been brewed in the Port of Economics from the Beckenham, Oxford, and Simon Fraser universities, Dr. Bawumia is confident of victory.
I've been to every constituency, slept in many constituencies, and I know the ground. So, as they say, follow who know road. I know the road, and not only do I have the experience,
We apologize for the technical hitch there. Now, let's take you to the Mampong constituency in the Ashanti region, where only polling station officers, member of parliament, and district chief executives in the area will be participating in the polls because the party was unable to hold elections for constituency executives and electoral area coordinators after some aggrieved party members contested polling station elections in court. Listen to this report by JoyNews' Nana Yaojima.
Though the court has given a verdict on the contested Mampong local polls, the NPP was unable to organize the outstanding elections. Ashanti region organizer for the NPP, Francis Adomako, explains the decision to restrict the election in the area to the already elected officers is well accepted by all.
Now, God being so good, the polling station officers have been mandated only to cast their ballots. There are no electoral area coordinators. There are no constituency officers. So it means apart from the polling station officers, the MP there and the MC there would add up to the polling station officers to cast their ballots. Some people who were not so happy about the process that went on during the time we were having the reorganization of our party. In the case of Mampong, some people felt that they are supposed to belong to a particular police station of which they were denied to contest for one reason or the other. So they took the issue to court, and it has been back and forth. So it means that with Mampong, polling station election went on there, but we couldn't go to the next process, and because of that, it had been hanging for quite a long period of time.
The Ashanti region has the second largest delegates of 34,987 for the presidential primary. Mr. Adomako says the security agencies and electoral commission are the only mandated agencies for the election conduct.
Now, in the region, there are certain constituencies that have huge numbers. So those constituencies that have huge numbers, the electoral commission has divided that constituency where they will be casting their ballot into 2 stations, A and B. For instance, Kwabri East has huge numbers. So the polling station in which they will be casting their ballots will be A. There will be 2 stations, A and B. There are about 10 constituencies which are huge in the region. So 10 constituencies will be having 2 stations, A and B.
For JoyNews, Nana Yaojima, Kumasi.
But the party insists that the case of Mampong will not affect the sanctity of the elections. Listen to the Secretary of the NPP Presidential Elections Committee, William Yamua, who spoke with my colleague, Emefa Apau, earlier, also refuting claims of vote buying and delegate camping.
We don't anticipate any chaos or any turnout of events that will affect smooth process of tomorrow. Because one, we had a court ruling, and then we have to respect the decision of the court. So all arrangements made across the country, same has been extended to Mampong constituency. So we are very optimistic and hopeful that we're going to have a successful turnout of events at Mampong.
How about the issue of vote buying, delegates influencing and camping?
We have no evidence or report of such nature. However, we do appreciate that the game politics comes with propaganda. The game politics comes with the twisting of accounts. The game politics come with the fabrication of stories. So for us as a body coordinating and then supervising this event, we have no knowledge of issue of vote buying.
Okay.
But it may also interest you so that at a given time, we got people who came out to say that certain personalities, high-profile personalities in our party and this country, traveled to India to procure a device which its primary objective or function is to remove people's name from our album, which, of course, is false. So if tomorrow or today somebody is also fabricating a story of vote buying, it is possible because it's part of the game politics.
Now, still in the Ashanti region, with few hours to the National Delegates Congress of the NPP, some constituencies in the region are contesting the voters register. That's what they call the album. The Azoko constituency, for instance, is claiming some delegates were not captured in the register. The Electoral Commission, in a meeting with executives of the constituency, rejected a proposal for a supplementary register. Head of the EC in the Ashanti region, Benjamin Bano Bill, says rectification can only be done by the NPP's election committee through the commission's headquarters.
No, our election is register-based. If your name is not on the final voters register, you cannot vote. And the register was compiled by the party, and then they brought it to the Electoral Commission. And that is what we are going to use tomorrow. As you indicated, about 35,756 delegates will be voting tomorrow. All of these numbers, their names are on the register. I think Asokwa just left here. Asokwa, the party executive, some of them came here, complained that some people do not have their names, some of their members do not have their names on the register. And we told them that if they have anything to do, they need to trash it out with their National Election Committee. And then National Election Committee will get to the head office of the Electoral Commission. And then if there's anything to go by, head office will also inform us as to the next line of action. But for now, we are going to go ahead and have the election with the register that has been given to us. We are not going to accept any supplementary register at the polling stations. Everything that we are going to do, all the things that have been brought to us from our end, the Electoral Commission head office.
Already, election materials have been dispatched to various districts of the Ashanti region. Mr. Bio says the materials will remain in the custody of the police.
We have gotten all the materials needed for the exercise. In fact, yesterday we received all the ballot papers required and then the register, they call it the party album. We kept them at the police armory, at the regional police command. This morning we went for it. We invited all our district officers. They came here under police escorts. We gave them their materials, they checked them, and they've taken them back to their districts. It's not going to be kept at the district offices. They are going to be kept at the district police command, their armory. So I would say that all that we need to take off tomorrow is set. We have briefed our officers as to what they should do. And officials who are recruited for the exercise have also been briefed. So what we are going to do tomorrow is to do what we know best to ensure that free and fair election is conducted. And again, to ensure that the results that will be declared will be a true reflection of the people who voted. So that in the end, whoever won will then be proud to say that, yes, I won because the people voted for me, the delegates. And whoever will lose will also accept it and say that, yes, I did my best, but it's a genuine vote that I had from the delegates. So that is what we are poised to deliver come tomorrow. Security issues is with the police, and we have had a lot of interaction with them, and they are also poised to deliver. So we are hoping for a better tomorrow.
Now, ahead of tomorrow's elections, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has been touting his footprints on the governing NPP from the day he accepted to partner then candidate President Akufo-Addo as running mate in 2008. Dr. Bawumia says his reputation as a grassroots candidate will do the magic for him come Saturday. He said there's at a media engagement at his cantonment residence Thursday.
I also outlined to the delegates about how a Bawumia flag bearership will give the MPP a new branding that will demonstrate clearly that the MPP is an inclusive party for all Ghanaians, whether you are a Dagomba, Ewe, Ga, Krobo, Kwewu, Ashanti, Brong, Bono, Kusasi, Gonja, Frafra, Wasa, or Inzima. My flag bearership, I believe, will also neutralize and put paid to many of the NDC propaganda against the MPP. Throughout the process, I've come to know the party people even better. In fact, I believe, because I've been at this for over 15 years now, since 2008, I've been dealing with the party grassroots for a very long time. And many people don't actually appreciate that I have been campaigning in constituencies, sleeping in constituencies for the last 15 years. I'm very well known. I've been dealing with the grassroots, solving their problems for over 15 years, even when we were in opposition. And so there's a closeness that I have to the grassroots that many of my competitors don't have. You get to a place and someone will bring you a picture you took in 2008 and tell you this is us together and all of that. So I have this affinity with the grassroots of the party, and basically this is one of the reasons why I believe that I am more of a grassroots candidate than an establishment candidate.
Meanwhile, Parliament was forced to adjourn very early Friday following the absence of a majority of NPP MPs. At the time of adjournment, there was less than 10 NPP MPs on the floor, many of whose absence has been attributed to Saturday's flag bearership election. Listen to Minority Chief Whip Governs Kwame Agboja taking issue with the absence of their NPP colleagues.
We don't have any problem with the former Minister of Education, now Minister of Energy, doing the name for Minister of Education, who is even a member of Parliament, but they didn't even tell us where he is. We are hearing he's campaigning somewhere for a candidate during the showdown. Then, Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Energy alone being here laying paper for every minister, at least let's know where the rest of the ministers are today. You cannot pretend that you are the minister of every ministry. Where are your colleagues?
You know there's no cabinet minister meeting today. So where are the rest of the ministers? You know, we know you are engaged in the spillage is affecting you, so you are in parliament. But the rest of the ministers, education, trade and industry, communication. How could you be all these ministers in the same day? I mean, let's know where the ministers are. So, honorable leader, where are they? Honorable leader, honorable Lydia, where are the rest of the ministers?
Now, the majority side responded by calling for an early adjournment of the House, forcing the second Deputy Speaker, Andrew Amakwe-Esiama, to oblige and adjourn Parliament to Tuesday.
Members here are traveling, some to the north, some to across the country. So, Mr. Speaker, you should know where I belong by now. Mr. Speaker, we therefore ask that the House I moved that they adjourn to Tuesday, 10 in the forenoon.
Now to the Bono East region, where the regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Ibrahim Baba Bukari, is urging the over 7,000 delegates of the party in the region to vote for a candidate that has what it takes to lead the party in its quest to break the 8. The chairman, who was speaking ahead of the November 4 presidential primaries, also noted that enough measures are being implemented to ensure that the party wins at least 7 out of the 11 parliamentary seats across the region. And as Sabet has more.
All is set for the final showdown of the NPP Presidential Primaries as the party goes to the poll to elect a flag bearer for the 2024 general elections. The elections will take place across all 16 regions of the country with a total of 7,570 delegates expected to cast their ballots across 12 polling centers in the Bono East region. Regional chairman of the party, Ibrahim Baba Bukari, also known as the Game Changer, says the November 4th elections means a lot to the party as they seek to overturn the dominance of the NDC in the region.
When it comes to general election in our region here, we are the minority. I must admit that. So we need each and every one of us to come together as one people before we'll be able to do something different or to turn the narratives that Bono East has been the stronghold of the NDC. And in so doing, we need all of us, each and every one of us, on board to be able to break the 8 come 2024. So this very election is very important and paramount to us as a region, especially me.
Ibrahim Baba Bukari further cautioned party faithfuls, particularly delegates, to be circumspect in their conduct during and after the polls in order to remain united ahead of the 2024 parliamentary and presidential elections.
Bono's election is going to decide what will happen in 2024. So please, whoever emerge as the winner should talk to their supporters in jubilation. You know, there's a word in Akan, I don't know how to put it in English, Jamhuru. If that happens tomorrow after the election, it is not going to speak well of us. And you know, we should realize that we all have a common goal. Are you getting me? A common goal, and our goal is to break the 8 come 2024. And in so doing, we need each and every one of us.
With the New Patriotic Party currently holding 3 out of the region's 11 parliamentary seats, Chairman IB, as he's affectionately called, says enough measures are being instituted to ensure that the party wins at least 7 seats in the December 2024 polls.
As a regional party, we have targeted 9 seats as I'm talking to you now, but our worst should be 7. And in so doing, you can't just say it and do different things. No, if you want a resource, you just have to pursue. I know with perseverance and hard work and dedication and unity, you'll be able to achieve that.
Now let's still stay with the elections and take you to the NPP's headquarters, where my colleague is standing by to give us update on what is happening there. Kwesi Aveji is there now for us. Kwesi, you are on now, you're there. Let us understand what's happening at the party's headquarters.
So, Brace, not so much is happening this evening at the party headquarters. It's rather a very quiet and atmosphere here at the NPP party headquarters. We are expecting that, contrary to this, tomorrow morning, as early as 6 a.m., 7 a.m., this street where I am standing now will be buzzing with activities as the party prepares to elect one person to lead it into the 2024 elections. But as you can see behind me, we still have the posters of the candidates on the walls here at the party headquarters. You see the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, there, as well as the Asin Central MP Kennedy Ejepong's posters also there on the walls. And so that is how it is looking like. What is unclear is whether all of these posters would be taken off the walls tomorrow before the voting starts, in accordance with the EC's regulation that there needn't be any form of campaigning at the voting centers. But what we are expecting is that tomorrow at least some 460 persons will be voting here, including the party's national executives, the patrons, founding fathers, as well as ministers and deputy ministers should be here to vote for the party. We know that the president himself, including the vice president, should be casting their vote here, and that is what we are expecting. And so 460 persons. Apart from that, we are also expecting that the coalition should be happening at the situation room here at the party headquarters. Now, if I take you across the street, what you see that the tent you see there, quiet, tomorrow morning we'll be selling party paraphernalia to supporters who may be here to purchase that. And so we expect that side of the street to also be very, very busy tomorrow. And so, quiet atmosphere here this evening, but we're expecting that it will be buzzing. If you can see, this is the arrangement we are seeing on the ballot paper tomorrow. Kennedy Ejepong at the top, the number one position. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the vice president, following. Dr. Osu Afriakoto, the former Minister for Agriculture, as well as Engineer Francis Adainimo. And so that is how it is going to go down tomorrow from 7 a.m. till all is said and done, until the last vote. The over 200,000 delegates cast their vote, and every vote trickles in here at the situation room of the NPP's headquarters. And then we know that after that, if the EC declares from the EC headquarters, all of them will be converging from the party headquarters here to the forecourt of the Ohinijan Sports Stadium, where a formal declaration will be made, acceptance of speech, and all of that will be done. But as the party headquarters is concerned this evening, Kojo Brace, it is quiet, but we expect that the contrary of this will be happening tomorrow morning, where a lot of activities will be happening here.
All right, so that's Kwesi Aveji there. He is bringing us the latest from the party's headquarters. More of this on your election eve special, when Evans Mensah and his team take the seat to bring you all of what you need to know on this particular election. Now, many exhibition centers were characterized by hearty chat between officials and fidgeting of phones as the places remained virtually empty on the first day of the voter register exhibition exercise. The exercise, according to the EC, is part of the preparations ahead of the local level elections scheduled for December 19. The purpose of the exhibition exercise is to allow prospective voters to verify their details, such as name, age, sex, among others, as captured during the registration exercise, and make requests for amendment or insertions where necessary. A tour by JoyNews to some centers in Accra has revealed a very low turnout as officials appeal to voters to patronize the exercise.
Commission opened its exhibition today to allow prospective voters check their names to be sure their names are correct. But the National Democratic Congress in the northern region is already raising some red flags. Addressing the media at a press conference in Tamale, the Northern Regional Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Abdul Salam Mohammed, named the scenario.
Not even a single voter was met at any of the exhibition centers visited by the JoyNews team on Friday. Officials of the Electoral Commission were the only occupants of the centers visited and were engaged in hearty conversations or fidgeting with their mobile devices at the time of the visit. The exercise aimed at giving prospective voters the opportunity to verify their details in the voter register recorded a very low turnout on the first day. For instance, at the Esther Daycare Polling Center 1 at Kokomlemle, at the time of the visit, only one voter had checked in to utilize the service out of a total of 237 registered voters. The situation was not different from Esther Daycare 2 polling station, also at Kokomlemle. Out of the 239 registered voters, only one voter had visited the center to verify his details in the voters album. The situation was worse at Harvard College Center 1 and 2, all in Kokomlemle. Out of a total of 625 at Center 1 and 668 at Center 2, no voter had visited both centers to verify their details. However, the situation was a bit encouraging at the White Hair Clinic Polling Center, also in Kokomlemle. 69 out of a total of 467 had visited the center to verify their details. Here is what the officials had to say.
Since the exercise began, since we came this morning, I have over 600 people on my list, but it's only one person that has been here so far. Yes, only one person. Kokomlemle, Harvard College, Kokomlemle. So, yes, they need to come and check up their details to see if everything is correct for the upcoming elections.
It's been quite low for our expectation, but then we hope it gets better as the day goes on. Yeah. This is Harvard College, Kokomlemle 1, and we are expecting about 600 people here to be sure. So I think from today onwards, we are just expecting that the number would increase as the day goes on. Yeah.
Have you got to somebody come check his name?
No, not yet, not yet. Yeah.
White Hair Clinic.
Okay. So how many people are you expecting to check?
467.
467.
Yeah.
So far, how many people have come?
69.
So that's very.
Today, my expectation for today is around 100.
My name is Eunice.
Okay, so you are the officer here. Now, what's the name of this polling center?
Esther Daycare 1.
Esther Daycare 1. So how many people are you expecting to come and check their names?
237.
So as we speak, how many people have come?
One.
Only one person.
Now, still on the exhibition, the National Democratic Congress in the Northern region is raising concerns over the Electoral Commission's inability to exhibit the 2023 electoral register in 4 constituencies in the ongoing voter registration exercise in the Northern region. According to the party, 6 other constituencies are without the full complement of the electoral register. Now, the NDC raised their concerns at a press conference in Tamale.
Electoral Commission opened its exhibition today to allow prospective voters check their names to be sure their names are correct. But the National Democratic Congress in the northern region is already raising some red flags. Addressing the media at a press conference in Tamale, the Northern Regional Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Abdul Salam Mohammed, named the Sanerigu, Tamale South, Tamale Central, Tolong and Nantong constituencies as constituencies the exhibition started without the 2023 registers. He said even though the EC had given assurance the full complement of the registers will be received yesterday to enable exercise to commence without hitches, that has failed.
Now the assurances were given that the registers will come on time. As of yesterday, 5 p.m., the registers were not delivered. The flight that finally came after 5 p.m. from Accra delivered some registers. So as we are speaking, 6 constituencies are without the full complements of the registers. That's adding to 4 constituencies which have no single register delivered. Sanargu constituency has no single register of the 2023. Tamale Central, Tamale South, no registers. Tolong, no register. Nantong, no register. These 6 constituencies, none of them has a single register of the 2023 registers to exhibit.
Now, let's go on to the phone lines now and speak to Secretary to the Elections Committee of the NPP for some clarification on the issues that have been happening in the party. Mr. Yamo, grateful to you for joining us here. Now, we understand that some party persons are complaining about the album that will be used for the exercise tomorrow. How is the party addressing all of these concerns?
Thank you very much, and then your church.
Mr. Yamo, I wanted to understand how the party is addressing the issues with the photo album.
Good evening to you and your service listeners. To the best of my knowledge, no issue of album has come to the attention of the committee. All other issues related to this electoral process have been dealt with. So if there are new issues coming up, then it hasn't gotten to our attention yet. And as and when such issues come up and it gets to our attention, we will swiftly attend to all of them and get them resolved.
Well, we are getting information tonight that Asokwa constituency, for example, some people are saying that there have been some omissions in the album. And if the omissions exist, then it means that tomorrow those people will not be able to vote. What is the measures put in place to address some of these concerns?
The issue of Asokwa came up yesterday. We received a petition from the constituency chairperson. We activated our internal mechanisms, and it turned out that the issues under discussion or issues raised are issues caused by the leadership. And we have said it time and again, we are not in the position to remove names or insert names. So if through the negligence of the management at the constituency, at the time of rectifying all these anomalies, they fail to attend or address them at their end, we are not to be blamed at this material moment. But all other issues that came up in a fashionable time manner, we have duly addressed them all.
Interesting. But all in all, how prepared is the party? Because all of these issues coming up will probably feed into tomorrow, and how smooth or otherwise the exercise will be. How prepared is the party?
The party is prepared. We are ready for tomorrow. All arrangements, plans, preparations are in place. And tomorrow, we are hopeful that the event is going to turn out successfully. All other issues or allegations, fabrications, whatever the issue is or concerns are, if people have legitimate issues, I will advise them to direct those issues to the office of the Secretary of the Presidential Elections Committee, and we will swiftly attend to all of them.
Okay. Grateful to you for joining us. William Yamoa, a Secretary to the NPP's Presidential Elections Committee there. Now, this is your election headquarters. Let's take you to the Ashanti region where Nana Aljima is standing by to give us an update on what's happening. Nana, tell us exactly how preparations are for Saturday's event.
So presently the region is very, very calm, and the information that I've been receiving is that some of the aspirants, that's the representatives of some of the aspirants, are touching base with the delegates for the final time or for the final round of preparations. They are going to have few talks with them before they go to the polls tomorrow. So beyond that, the region is very, very calm. Now, earlier you played a report or an interview with the EC's, the chairman of the EC in the Ashanti region, Mr. Benjamin Banobil, and I went to his office earlier. When I got there, I met some party officers of the Asokwa constituency, and their mission there was very simple. According to them, there were some issues with the voter register and they wanted them rectified. What the proposal they brought to the EC is that they have a supplementary register that they wanted the EC to add to what they've already received from the party headquarters before tomorrow, so that the EC can also use the supplementary register to augment what they have already. But the EC denied that register. What the EC says is that if they have issues, they should rather go to the party hierarchy or go to the election committee, get that rectified before a signal is sent from the EC's headquarters to the EC in the region, so that if there is need to change the voter register or the photo album for the election, that will be done. Beyond that, what I know, or the information I've received so far, is that various districts have taken delivery of the election materials, and presently they are being kept by the police in the districts. So currently everything is fine. Representatives of the various aspirants are meeting the delegates for the final time in the constituencies, and these are very secret meetings within the constituencies. Beyond that, everything is fine. The people of the Ashanti region are expectant of tomorrow's election.
Nana Aljuma coming to us from the Ashanti region. There's more of that and other things to look out for when Evans Mensah and his team join you with the Election Eve special. Stay on here on the JoyNews channel. This is still JoyNews Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Stay. Welcome back from the break. Now, a law lecturer at the Gimpa Law School, George Bafo Asare-Friye, has made a strong case for a supranational government within the West African sub-region to pursue a common agenda for the good of the people. Now, key amongst his proposals are the establishment of a common market, a single currency, and a common central bank for security and economic independence. Speaking at a workshop series at the Gimpa Law School Thursday, Mr. Asare-Friye said a supranational government is the surest way to becoming an industrialized sub-region that can compete with the EU. There's more in the following report.
The court should also have the power to issue binding judgments and orders that the Commission or other mechanisms can enforce. 3. Developing a common market and a monetary union for the region by harmonizing trade.
Mr. Asare-Friye was speaking at a workshop dubbed Giving ECOWAS a Teeth, a case of supranational government for the West African sub-region. He called on contemporary African leaders to commit to the cause of a sub-regional government by ceding off part of their sovereignty for the realization of a supranational government.
Various governments have to cede some of their sovereignty to this body. This is because I'm of the opinion that ECOWAS does not have the teeth to bite. So regarding most of these policies, they are not able to implement.
Beyond the potential economic benefits, Mr. Asare-Friye believes security architecture of member countries will be strengthened if they are successful at implementing a sub-regional government.
Fostering a common foreign and security policy for the region, coordinating diplomatic actions, positions, and representations among member states on sub-regional and international issues, and establishing a common defense and security mechanisms that can respond to threats as well, and challenges to peace and stability in the sub-region.
He says the countries might as well scrap existing blocks if they are unwilling to pursue a sub-regional government.
And we do not get rid of this by having this supranational organization or supranational government to see to the enforcement of the various policies that we have, the various protocols, the various treaties that we have. Then it's better we just scrap ECOWAS.
The next step for Mr. Asare-Friye is to make copies of the presentation available to the ECOWAS Commission and other relevant organizations.
The Honorable Minister have directed the Chief Executive of Kolebu to, as a matter of urgency, make the post open and issue statements to the general public.
Well, that was the public relations officer of the Ministry of Health, Isaac Maofe, assuring that the renal dialysis unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital would be open to outpatient, but 24 hours after his assurances, outpatient department remains closed. Now, Thursday, there was a bipartisan call in Parliament for the facility to be opened.
Parliament as a whole should be deeply concerned about the persistent closure of the renal unit outpatient department at Kolebu Teaching Hospital. This situation has far-reaching implications for the well-being of dialysis patients in Ghana and raises serious questions about the commitment of government to transparency and accountability in our healthcare institutions. In the initial case of the facility's closure was attributed to scarcity of essential medical consumables required for dialysis. When dialysis medical consumables were finally procured, the service saw...
I fully associate myself with the call for the minister to be programmed to appear. That is something we cannot compromise on. He must appear. And especially in the matter about the lives of our citizenry, we can't take for granted. It can happen to any of us. And so I'm fully associated with that call. It's about the lives of our people. Whatever it takes, he must appear. We must program him to appear and to brief us. Immediately, the Kolebu renal unit should be open immediately. And there are some other actions that have been taken. That is why I'm emphasizing the call. As Speaker, we need you to bless this call that the minister should be programmed to come and make this statement formally on the floor of Parliament.
Now, President of the Renal Patient Association, Kojo Bafwa-Henkra, says that each time government delays in providing the needed financial support to Kolebu Teaching Hospital, lives are lost.
Happen to anybody. Now, kidney is no more whether you drink alcohol or you don't drink alcohol. It can happen to anybody to come to this stage. So we are just begging them. We are pleading with them. They should consider us. They should do something about it. There's nothing. Like I said yesterday when the news came, I was going for my lab report at Kolebu. I went there, I went through, and nobody doesn't want to talk. All that they hear that you're also waiting for instructions from above before they can do anything. The instruction they have there, they're supposed to do the ward cases and that of the emergency. If they don't have, they cannot do anything. They are just waiting for instruction from above. Maybe start with the OPD, then they will start. If there's no instruction, as I was even coming to this studio, I called a friend. He said, oh, still, they've not heard anything. So what are we doing? But what can we do? We can only appeal to the government that we are begging them. They should do something about it. And my brother, you see, if Kolebu is open today, that is not the end of the matter. The Kolebu CEO has made it clear that if they open it at the price of 380, we will need almost like 1 million Ghana cedis
to subsidize it all every month.
So, and that's how we wrap up today's edition of the JoyNews Prime. There's more on myjoyonline.com. Up next is your Election Eve special, where the Evans Mensah, Winston Amwa, and his, Raymond Aqua, together with all the correspondents, will be touching base with from various regions in Ghana. Stay tuned for that analysis. Stay on.